Hello and welcome back. I'm Shelf Unit and this is my continuing Let's Play of Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. So last time we successfully escaped the MTR station, killing sneakily via the sniper rifle most of the guards in our way, and then without taking I think any damage at all, brushing aside this idiot troll who tried to stop us on our way out. So that was quite pleasing. So now we're just going to have some talks with, no, that's our bunk. We're going to have a chat with our various people who apparently we are unable to find. I don't know, maybe they're all with Kindly Cheng. Yeah, they appear to be all with Kindly Cheng. Okay, so let's hop off to the waterfront and head over to Kindly Cheng's parlour. I hope everybody's doing well today. It is here a very nice spring afternoon. Okay, yeah, everybody's here. Kindly Cheng is in the midst of emptying 2 plastic shopping bags when you enter. She places the contents in a pile on a mahjong table. 2 liquor bottles without labels, a box of her thin black cigars, and an assortment of individually wrapped gourmet chocolates, and a large caliber pistol with electrical tape wrapped around its grip. Ah, good, you're here. She finishes with the plastic bag and throws them to the floor. It seems like forever since we saw each other. Welcome back. Your trip worthwhile? Her voice is filled with a rusty energy. Yes, my darling, yes. I met with several contacts within my network who referred me to others in neighbouring cities. Regardless of how far technology moves forward, tradition demands that some things be handled face to face. I have returned with information that will lead you to the plastic-faced man, the man who killed Raymond Black. Excellent. Once you had gone, we uncovered a relationship between Josephine Tsang and Raymond Black. The triad woman Nara. Did you? And what was it you uncovered? I've been lied to all this time. Woo me. Raymond Black is actually Edward Sang. Ah, there we go. The man who raised us isn't Raymond Black, he's Edward Sang, son of Josephine Sang. You were raised by Josephine's son? Her brow furrows. That explains where Edward went when he disappeared years ago, in Seattle. Any idea why he disappeared? No, just that he went missing after Josephine completed rebuilding the walled city. That was in the early 30s. Her face twists into a mask of disgust. You realize what this means, don't you, my sweet? That inbred little goat hole is cold enough to have her own son executed. Even more reason to find the plastic-faced man. What have you found out? Everything you need to move forward. She grabs a bottle and opens it. I know the identity of the plastic-faced man. His name is Li Taiyong, and he's an independent contractor, a trusted, deniable asset who handles all of Josephine Sang's more delicate operations, off the books and away from the public eye. The plastic-faced man is her shadowy right hand outside the corporation. Cheng doesn't bother with the glass. She takes a long pull of the stinking bottle and wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. And I know how to find him too. I've made contact with an information broker, Xiao Ji, who works out of an abandoned night market in Shek Mei called the Xing House Court. It's not hard to find. She takes another pull on the bottle. Xiao Ji has gained access to the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary, where he'll be, who he'll be with, and what sort of security he'll have. The works. She grins, glassy-eyed. You can use it to perform an extraction, grab him and find out what he knows. Did you find out why Li has a face made of plastic? It's not just his face. Li Tailong's entire skull is synthetic. He designed it himself to be the perfect corporate operative. He's installed a unique piece of hardware, you see. It allocates and compartmentalizes client-related memories so that they can be erased upon completion of a job. And as an added security measure, this cortical implant will wipe his memory if it detects he's been captured. Seriously, you can just wipe out everything having to do with the Sang mechanical services? So we need to find a way to circumvent the implant. Exactly. Unless you can find a way around the cortical implant, you'll have no way to extract the information he has and figure out what happened to Raymond Black. She circles the mouth of the bottle with her finger. Now I've done my part in this, my darling. You need to find a way to neutralize that device. Isabel interjects, her voice breaking slightly as she speaks. I know a way. I've heard of something like this before. I met someone in the Matrix who had to shirk a similar memory wipe plant once. It was a requirement for a big job, and she pulled it off. Keep talking. The handle is Dreamland, and I know where to find her. All that we'd have to do is to convince her to give up the secret of how she did it. Okay, Isabella and I will go see Dreamland before we hit the information broker. Then we grab the plastic face man. No matter who you choose to help you snatch this guy, I'm going to be there when you extract the information from him about Raymond. Who crosses his arms, across his chest, and tilts his head towards you. Got it, Sarah? We should all be there. Covered eyebrows arch high. I know I want to see this. Very good, my darlings. Now, listen to me. After you get what you need from the plastic face man, I want you to end him. You understand? The triad boss taps the table with her finger. I need to send a very clear message that this is what happens when you mess with Kindly Cheng's operations. With Kindly Cheng's people. Josephine takes Nightjar, I take her plastic face man. Once you snatch the plastic face man, Sang will know something is happening, and events will unfold very quickly after that. You'd best close out any pressing business you have before heading to May to see Xiaozi. You understand? I'll check my mission computer to see if I have any jobs I want to knock out before I hit the MTR to May. Business is business, my darling. Kindly Cheng raps on the mahjong table with an imitation ivory tile, and business has been good since you arrived. Okay. Let's head out. So, if we go now, what's here? Captain John. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to quickly take a look at the mission computer. Maybe take a rest. See how we're doing. Open the jobs directory, your pending jobs, back to root, active jobs, read active data retrieval. Okay. Captain Jammer, yep, back to root. That's the last one we've got. Okay, let's see if we can talk to people now. Yes, we can. Good to see you. Wu smiles. Now leave me alone. I got stuff to think about. What do you think about the last round? That was some real cloak and dagger shit, wasn't it? Hitting a high-tech weapons research lab, framing a triad for the run, and dealing with other shadow running teams. He shakes his head smiling. Oh, and to top it off, there was a laser gun there. A laser gun. If I didn't know any better, I think you'd enjoyed yourself. Hey, look, as a rule, I don't like running the shadows. Given my choice, I'd walk the straight and narrow. But if I'm going to be a criminal, this is the kind I want to be. Kind with a laser gun. So I've got to admit, I was a little sad when you gave that thing to the other team. I mean, I get why you did it. Reputation's important and all that. But that weapon was an asset too. He shrugs. I don't know. It was a tough call. Let's hope you made the right decision. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? Let's talk later. Sure, you know where to find me. Right by the fishy smell. Okay, so let's head up. Let's talk to Izzy. Any thoughts about the last run? She shakes her head. Nope, sorry. Jacking into the octopus is how I relax after a long day of work. Alright, if that's the way you feel. Gotta go. Let's talk to Gobster. Gobber glances up at the sound of your approach. A slight smile crosses her face. Hey, pal. She puts her hand on her hips, sending madness scurrying. Ready for your next lesson? Absolutely. Hit me with it. Straight to business. She nods appreciatively. I liked it. Good. This one's about people like Annie Cheng and why we need them. There won't be a Q&A session after this story, but I want you to listen up. It's important. All is. All right. So, here's the upfront lesson. Fixes are important. You can't just go do a Johnson yourself and get a job. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a bad idea all round. You want to tell me why? Because Arnie Chang and people like her serve a purpose. You get a job from her and you can trust she vetted the client. It's important. It protects the whole team. She takes a breath, lets it out slowly. You remember the lesson from last time, the one about Sui and the shiny object? How could I forget? Well, after the run was over, we went back to the sinking ship for some R&R. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. All we had to do was keep the thing safe till handoff. We were in a celebratory mood. I killed an evil wizard and stolen a priceless artifact. Good night's work by anyone's standard. Hanu and Egret got all good and drunk in record time. Sui went back to his cabin with the shiny object to, I don't know, stare at it for a while or something. I retired to my cabin and crashed out. It had been a long night. I remember waking up to sounds. Yelling maybe. I was groggy and they were far away. Couldn't quite make them out. Clock said 4:30 a.m. People were always partying on the raft. Playing loud music, shooting out fireworks, that kind of thing. So loud noises early in the morning weren't unusual, but something felt off somehow. That'll be your subconscious trying to warn you of something. She nods. Yeah, it's a lot like a panic attack, really. That full body certainty that something's wrong. So I got up to investigate. If something was wrong, I wanted to know, and if it wasn't, I figured I might as well get in on the party. I stepped out into the hallway. My foot slipped. I came down hard and landed on my ass. I found myself sitting in a pool of blood. It's no good. She shakes her head, grimacing. No, it was pretty bad. So it was pretty obvious by this point that something had gone horribly wrong. My first thought was that the shiny object might have, I don't know, unleashed something. After what I saw it do at the warehouse, I wouldn't have been surprised. I shook that off pretty quick, though. I knew what this was. Our client was playing us. He'd hired us to steal the thing, and then, rather than paying us for the job, he'd send another team to take it away. And given what was happening at the warehouse, I'd have assumed the shiny object was to blame. Sure, I get that. It did some scary shit back in that warehouse, but it had also been sitting dormant for a long time before Sui and I stole it. Anyway, I got up and brushed myself off, and then I beelined for Malvina's cabin. She was the closest thing to the sinking ship had to a leader, and the strongest rat shaman on the raft. If the raft was under attack, I'd probably do that too. Yeah, it seemed like the right thing at the time. And there was a retrieval team coming for the shiny object, and there was strong enough to handle Sui while he was holding it. What chance would I have of stopping him on my own? Figured it was time to bring out the big guns. And Malvina was one of whom I can get them from. I passed some pretty bad stuff on the way down to Malvina's cabin. It was old man Zion's vault all over again. The torn up bodies, the blood on the street floors. I saw people have been cut apart with machetes. Scorch marks on the container walls. She bites her lip, grimacing at the unpleasant memories stewing in her head. Deep down in the pit of my gut, I could feel the thrumming vibration of the shiny object. That heartbeat feeling I had in the warehouse. It was back and stronger than ever. Whatever that rod was, it was awake. Did you make it to Malvina's cabin? Yeah. I burst through the door, all ready to spread the news, and someone smashed his gun into my face. It was Cadmus, my friend. He jammed the muzzle of the super war into my cheek so hard it hurt, then grabbed me by the belt with his other hand. I wasn't going anywhere. Just over his shoulder, I saw Malvina. She didn't look amused. Note to self, if hair ever comes under attack, don't start knocking on my friends' doors. Yeah, it's a good note. Wish I had you there at the time to keep me from doing it. She smiles weakly. Adrenaline and abject terror can make a girl do some stupid things, I'll tell you what. The smile on her face dies, and she looks away. Anyway, it wasn't an attack. There were no hostile invaders on the sinking ship, and our client had nothing to do with what was going on. Turns out there was no client. Sui lied to us, to me, because he wanted the shiny object for himself. What he wanted to do was take the sinking ship away from Malvina, and so he used us to steal him something he could use to ferment a mutiny. She paused a moment, gathers her rats in her hands and lifts them to her shoulders. They scurry all over the leather of her coat and disappear into her hair. As it turned out, betrayal hurt Seattle. Malvina felt it, and I felt it too. Sui'd been a friend. I just risked my life to save his, 4 hours ago, and he tricked me into helping him do something unthinkable. Why do you think he did it? Why all this over a heap of junk floating in a bay? I don't know, maybe he'd gone toxic. Maybe he got ambitious and wanted to be the king of our little aquatic hill. He didn't discuss it with me first or anything. I'd be willing to bet that something had gone rotten in Sui long before we'd ever met. He was pretty damn good at hiding it. He could have been mentally ill. She holds up a hand. I don't know why he did it. Frankly, I don't care. The only thing that's important here is he did. So what'd you do? What could I do? I didn't have a whole lot of options, and Cadmus was kind of on edge, like a red-faced and screaming, so I opened my mouth and fast talked my way out of it. I started off by doubling down on my loyalty to Malvina, Cadmus, and the status quo on the sinking ship, swearing my undying friendship. You know, the drill. I did a good job of it, but they still looked a little iffy. Iffy with a warhawk is bad, so I volunteered to prove myself by stealing the shiny object back from Sui. Brave of you? I know, right? Not my style at all, but then I didn't really have a choice. I'd inadvertently helped to arm the bastard who was tearing our friends and neighbors apart. I don't think I could have declared my name without taking his weapon away again. It was a hell of a night. I don't want to get into too many of the gory details. Friends died. Hell, friends killed each other. It was brother against brother and all that jazz. Sui's indiscriminate use of the shiny object let a lot of things into this world that shouldn't have been. Did you get a good view of them this time? Yeah, I wish I hadn't, but I did. I don't really know how to describe the things. They were like animals, but wrong. Too many tails, bones in the wrong places, huge open sores, that kind of thing. They were spirits manifested in physical form, I think. Most of them took the form of rats, swarms of insects, rotting things, all of the old pestilence tropes. Sometimes there were the colonies of things all tangled together and moving as one. Not the sort of thing I ever want to see again. So anyway, long story short, I got the shiny object back from Sui. Wasn't easy, but I got it. How'd you want to elaborate on that? Not really. I used lies and misdirection, trickery. Rat helped. She pauses a moment, frowning. Some of the things that Sui let loose actually came in handy, funny enough. He'd summoned so many of them he couldn't hope to control them all, and that gave me an opening to use them to my advantage. I was able to steer some of Sui's followers into a pack of the damn things. Worked. Wasn't pretty, though. I managed to trick my way past Sui's supporters in the astral menagerie that he'd summoned. It wasn't easy, but I did it. Then I stole the shiny object, and all was right with the world. And yeah, I'm intentionally glossing over the details. I had to do some things that I'm not proud of, and people died because of it, but I got the damn thing and I got it back to Malvina. And what happened then? Long story short, Malvina put the shiny object to better use than Sui ever did. She took to the thing like she'd grown up using it. We still lost dozens of people, but Sui's side lost more. Cadmus was critically wounded, but he pulled through. After the skirmish, Malvina held an assembly. She told everyone that there'd be new rules for life on the raft. Anyone who refused to follow them could leave. And if you broke them, you would die. Rules of the sea and all that. After the pronouncement, she turned on the surviving mutineers. Hunter was one of them. He'd been on Sui's plan the whole time. She didn't kill him, but she did exile him from the sinking ship, and for people in our economic bracket, that's as good as a one-way trip to the walled city. I'd be willing to bet they're all dead by now. In the wake of Malvina's ultimatum, 5 survivors left the sinking ship. I was one of them. Why'd you leave? I had to go. We may have washed the blood off the decks, but the energy of the sinking ship had changed, and it wasn't the carefree haven I'd loved anymore. And as sensible as Malvina's rules were, I wasn't up to living under him. We parted on good but sad terms, and as you'd expect, we drifted apart over the years. It's funny, I hadn't even thought of Malvina or the sinking ship in years, until I decided to teach you to your previous lesson, and it all came flooding back in. She pauses and turns to you. That's it. It's finished. But I want to circle back on the lesson I gave you up front, because it's important. We need Arnie Cheng to bring us work. It's obvious, but we also need her to keep us honest. To be sure that we, on the team, are playing straight with one another. Arnie Cheng's reputation rides on the legitimacy of the jobs that she brings us. That, and more than anything, is why we need her. If we didn't have Arnie Cheng or someone like her, we'd eventually tear ourselves apart. It happened on the sinking ship. It could happen again in Hawaii. So anyway, that's the lesson. If you've got follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them. What did Malvina do with the shiny object? Well, first she used it to get rid of the things that Sui had let loose. Then she put it away for safekeeping. It's probably still there on the sinking ship, ensconced in some shrine or other, held under lock and key. Well, at least she's keeping it safe. She shrugs. I'd have preferred it if she'd have ditched the thing, but in the end that wasn't my choice to make. From what I've heard, she's still in power over there, so I guess it all worked out okay. Sui, what happened to him? That working colostomy bag was already dead, eaten by his own monsters after I took the shiny object away. Turns out he wasn't much good at controlling them without it. My voice fills with grim satisfaction. He didn't even live long enough to watch his mutiny fail. Okay, any thoughts on the last run? I think it went pretty well. There are a lot of runners who can say they went up against Ares and came out ahead. Sure, maybe the job could have gone a little smoother, but how are we supposed to account for another runner team showing up? Adaptability, Seattle. That's what makes a good runner. Always go with your instincts. I think you made the right call giving those guys the laser. I mean, sure, who doesn't like lasers? But would another gun really make that much of a difference for us? That team sounded like the kind of people who won't forget a debt. Sometimes that's the difference between living and dying. What you do and who you can call in a pinch. So what else do you want to chat about? Thanks, Gobbet. Sure, in Seattle. Thanks for listening. These lessons are for your benefit, but I think they help me too. It's nice to be taken seriously every now and again. No problem, Gob. I look forward to the next one. Her face lights up. Yeah, me too. Now I gotta get a move on. I got Gobbet things to do. Okay. Let's hit the hatch, and I think we can go to have a quick shut-eye. You wake with a start. Once again, you're tangled in your sheets, drenched in sweat. Your throat feels like it's on fire. You can't remember what your dreams are about, not precisely, but again you feel that yearning sensation, the emptiness in your gut and in your chest. Your heart throbbing, you heave yourself out of bed. Okay. Let's head over to the waterfront. Now, I think we can go and do this. Let's see, is there anything that we can do here first? We can improve body. What should we do? Ranged combat. We've got a rifle. Ranged combat of 7. Now we got ranged combat of 8. With 3 points available. And the rifle, we've pretty much got everything we need to. What's that? Interesting. That's actually quite a good one. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done on that. Okay. Talk to Captain Jomo. Captain Jomo is busily playing some kind of gambling game on his comic. It beeps and flashes as he taps away. Come on, Jomo. Win, not lose. Maybe buy yourself a new hat. He doesn't appear to have noticed you at all. The game makes a sad, defeated noise. Jomo curses under his breath, nose wrinkling in disgust, and finally seems to notice you. Stupid game. Always cheats me. Never a good hand. Now, kind of Ching sends you, Allah. You need Captain Jomo to take you to play pirate? That's right. So... yeah, I don't need to hire anybody. I got my Decker, I got my Duncan, and I got my Gobster. Let's confirm. The ride up to the Nelchai is nerve-wracking. Captain Jomo seems an expert pilot, but massive waves threaten to scuttle his small boat at every turn. Deep thunder rolls in the distance, and at the edge of your vision, lightning occasionally illuminates your target, the MV Nelchai. Jomo pulls your small craft directly up to the bow of the Nelchai, where you're least likely to be spotted, and throws a rope ladder up over the side, hustling you aboard before pulling away. Time to get to work. That's me, I'm full. That's Duncan. And here's Gobbett. Climbing onto the foredeck of the Notch, you pause to catch your breath. The cargo ship rolls and pitches with the waves that batter her sides, and rain assails the deck. Deep thunder rolls overhead. After a tense moment waiting for the inevitable alarm klaxons, you hear nothing but the storm. Cocking his head, Duncan listens intently. I don't hear any alarms or panting feet. I guess we got aboard without them noticing. Good, that'll mean a smoother operation. Placing a hand on her hip, Isabel nods in satisfaction. This ship is probably packed with guards. The longer we can go without them noticing us, the better. We want to keep low and stay behind cover. Duncan stares into the darkness, the subtle glow of his goggles painting his nose and temples a faint red. After a moment he nods in satisfaction. This is good. The storm's going to make things a lot easier for us. We're less likely to hear gunfire or fighting, much less footsteps. So as long as we can stay hidden, nobody will be the wiser. We may be able to sneak our way in. Even if we have to kill a few, if we do it fast, we'll still be in the clear. The storm will drown out anything they send or receive on their radios. If they want to raise the alarm, they'll have to get one of the shipboard handsets. We can take them out before they can get there. And I think, for now, this is where we will say goodbye. I feel that what we learnt in the previous run will help us quite a bit here. So, until next time, I shall see you. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, don't worry about it. Thank you again, and goodbye.